Hello and welcome to the Critical Curators. I'm Monk, and today, yes, we are doing a first impressions of Elden Ring Night Reign. This, of course, is a spin-off slash prequel to Elden Ring. Now, Elden Ring Night Reign is a roguelike action RPG developed by From Software. Now, From Software are obviously famous for developing and making the Dark Souls series, and of course that soul does exist and live on through this game too. It is a very tough but yet rewarding game. Now, Elden Ring Night Reign is on the PlayStation, the Xbox, and of course Steam as well, and will actually only set you back around $34.99 depending on which platform you are buying it on. If you ask me, it's a very cheap game for this day and age. And if you're wondering, all footage today has been collected on my PC. So far, the game's actually performed very well. This is obviously a brand new game, so we don't hold our breath when we play brand new games, but so far this game has performed absolutely awesome. So what exactly is this game about? Well, essentially, this game is stripped down to you playing out 3 days. You're going to rinse and repeat these 3 days. Now, the first 2 days of this cycle, you are essentially grinding for EXP and loot and gear. Now on the third day, you're going to be taking all that loot and gear that you found to try and take on one of 8 Night Lords. This is where the real fun begins, of course, because those final bosses are not going to be very easy. To be honest with you, this game itself is not very easy, so unless you actually know what you're doing or you have a decent team, you're probably not even going to make it to night 3 anyway. Now, I know that a lot of people are asking, can you play this game solo? You can play it solo in the sense that you can just jump in and do what you want. However, unless you are a hardcore Elden Rings player, I doubt very much whether you're actually going to be able to complete this game on your own. You are going to need friends, or you are going to at least need to work as a team with the people that you spawn in with. This is, after all, a cooperative game. It's designed for that very purpose. Therefore, day 1, day 2, collecting as much gear and loot and EXP as you possibly can, along with helping your friends to do exactly the same, is all part of the gameplay. An interesting fact is that Dark Souls bosses are actually in this game, so keep a little lookout for them. There is actually an interview of the creator of this game wanting to add and extend the lore of the Dark Souls in Elden Ring Night Reign, so I thought that was a nice little added touch. Now, another big question is going to be, is this game noob friendly? In other words, if you've never played an Elden Ring game before, you never played a Dark Souls game before, or a Born game before, are you going to be able to jump into this and actually play and actually enjoy yourselves? Well, I've never played any of those games before. Honestly, I've always sidestepped it because I didn't know the franchise. However, this is going to be my first dive in. So far, I do feel like the game certainly allows you to understand the mechanics before thrusting you upon the world to a certain degree. Like, for instance, if you manage to complete the if you manage to complete the prologue, there happens to be a training dummy that you can essentially just stay and fight. You can use all the different classes in the game as well. There's a few different classes or pre-builds for you to kind of start with, and then you can actually have a decent attempt at playing around with the different weapons and mechanics, and learning how to block and parry and all those sort of things. I like that this feature's been added in, because if you jump into the game, it is so brutal. Is it noob friendly? No. Does it try and help newer players? Absolutely it does. Now, as someone who's never played a Dark Souls game before, or even the first installment, Elden Rings, I did find this a little bit of a challenge, There's a lot of different mechanics, there's a lot of different classes, and it's quite unrelenting. You really are backed in the corner straight away and just told to survive. It's not as hard as I thought it would be. You're not one hit killed, but you certainly can be. Now, there are 6 different characters for you to choose from the very beginning of the game. Whether more DLC is added for more characters or not, that remains to be seen. But I do think that is enough to kind of get you to kind of, find a favorite, find a style that you like, and become proficient as that. When you very first start the level, the cycle, day one, day two, day three, each of the party gets to choose their character, and you kind of just load in that way. I think that every single character in the game is definitely unique. They've definitely got their strengths and weaknesses, but I don't really think there is a bad option, at least from my eyes, that is. I will say that character design, level design, it all looks really, really nice. There is a huge eye for detail in this game. I think that anyone who's played, previous installments will certainly understand that, that's kind of to be expected. And I don't feel like they let you down at all. This was my first encounter with a supposed boss, and I was a little bit surprised to be thrown straight into him. The guy was an absolute beast and a juggernaut to try and deal with, but hey ho, that's the nature of this game. Now, a big question I've seen asked quite a lot is how close or similar is this prequel to the original Elden Ring? Essentially, this game has been stripped down to its core mechanics, focusing purely on aggression and strength. Everything outside combat has been streamlined to the max. And every single time you defeat an NPC, you'll gain that experience and you can instantly level up at a site of grace, which will in turn boost your health and your stats. Now, I have heard from previous Elden Ring players that does not necessarily fancy this game because of the co-op side of it, because of the streamline side of this game. But as a new person coming in for the very first time, I feel like this is a really good step into this world. For instance, I get to play with friends, I get to experience this game on a slightly easier side of the Dark Souls universe, because as I understand, this game is essentially a little bit easier than previous installments. So for me, so far, this game gets an absolutely positive rating. I'm looking forward to playing it a little bit more. Hopefully, I can get to grips with the combat, with just the generalized way this game plays, and hopefully I'll be able to bring out more and more content for you guys. We'll have to let me know how you get on down in the comments if you manage to pick this game up, if it's your first time playing, if you are a returning Dark Souls player. It'd be really interested to know, your kind of perspective on this game, and it also help viewers know whether it's worth their time and of course their money to pick this game up as well. All in all, I am pretty impressed with it so far. I think for me, the level design, the attention to detail, the characters themselves look absolutely amazing. I think the world itself looks really cool as well. So I'm looking forward to kind of diving in and seeing just how much that changes, how much more there is to explore. And of course, the monsters, the baddies that we have been slaying up to this point, they look so unique and so interesting. And it's going to be interesting to see what more is to come. But until then, I've been a monk, who've been a critically curious, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.